Are you ready for some good news? Christ didn't come to give us a modified old covenant. He ushered in a new covenant. It's utterly new and altogether better than the old. Here's today's text from Hebrews. But as it is, Christ has obtained a ministry that is as much more excellent than the old as the covenant he mediates is better, since it is enacted on better promises. For if that covenant had been faultless, there would have been no occasion to look for a second. That's Hebrews 8, 6-7. The Old Testament records the story of the covenant God made with Israel, by which Israel would be the treasured possession of the one true God. The same narrative also tells of the recurring failure of God's people to keep their side of the covenant. Their continued violation of God's law and their recurring idolatry led to their eventual exile, but God could not forget His people. For century upon century, sacrifice after sacrifice, God's wrath was poured out on innocent animals instead of the guilty people. And He promised His beloved that a better way was to come. The new way was most famously forecast by the prophet Jeremiah. Behold, the days are coming, declares the Lord, when I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and the house of Judah, not like the covenant that I made with their fathers on the day when I took them by the hand to bring them out of the land of Egypt. What would be so new about this new covenant? Herein is the glorious Vista. The old covenant was between God and the people of Israel. If they would obey, God promised they would be blessed. There were covenant promises made, blood shed, and a sacred meal was shared. The new covenant also contains covenantal promises, shed blood, and a shared meal. But the new covenant isn't between the people and God. It's between the Son and the Father. If the Son obeyed the Father, then the blessing would be poured out upon anyone and everyone who received the Son. The efficacy of the new covenant promises does not depend upon your righteousness, but on the power of the new covenant depends upon the righteousness of Jesus Christ. Thus, you're blessed with every spiritual blessing in Christ. You're in relationship with God because a new covenant was made and kept on your behalf in Christ. And that's the gospel. That's today's daily devotional, and if you missed today's very important radio broadcast, I hope you'll get it. It's for free at sharingthelight.org.